So style-wise, very versatile. You can carry it as a clutch, you can carry it as a tote bag. It is water resistant, it's very easy access for the opening. It's got a zipper compartment for safety. So this pretty much covers all your everyday needs. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So I've been wanting to do this video for a while now, and it is none other than a review of my large Loewe Flamenco shoulder bag. So on the Loewe website, it is listed as the large Flamenco clutch bag in nappa calfskin. Jumping right in, the nappa leather, it is very soft and buttery, but you can actually see some graining to it, even though it is a smooth finish. It's got a matte finish to it, but it does have a slight sheen to it in front of my ring light right now. You can tell that it looks shinier than it would actually appear. I would say that the calfskin in general is quite durable. So I bought this bag for my trip to Australia in June, and I've used it quite a bit on that trip. And since then, I've been using it every now and then. So they listed this as a clutch bag on the website, but it's not really a clutch bag. I guess you could hold it this way as a clutch, like I see some fashion people doing that, but most of the time it is really just a tote bag. It's quite a comfortable tote bag because it has these very comfy straps, very thick, and also very soft and pliable. My measuring tape is completely busted. It is 2 centimeters wide, and that is a little bit less than an inch, 3/4 of an inch. And straight off the bat, I want to say that I love using this as a tote bag. The only problem is when okay, I'm just gonna get up here and then you can see. So when I use it as a tote bag, the second strap tends to fall off rather easily. And I mean, you can still carry it quite easily as a tote bag. It doesn't really affect the carrying of it, but I would say you've got to like sort of push it behind a little bit or way down it for it to not slip off. So even if I do stuff the bag, and I really did stuff the bag, especially when I was traveling, it does tend to slip off, especially when you are wearing a coat. And so that is pretty much, I think, the only con with this bag. I wouldn't dare to scratch it myself with my fingernails, but I mean, I haven't tried. This bag has been through the ringer, it's definitely been dinged up, and honestly, I don't actually see any markings on it, surprisingly, given that it's been through a lot. And so here you see that it is a very quiet luxury bag because it doesn't have any branding on it except for a very subtle embossed logo over here, the Loewe anagram logo. So it has very subtle branding. I really like to use this in situations where I don't really want to call more attention to myself, or if I have a very loud outfit already, I think this is a good bag to choose if you already have a pretty busy outfit. I do think that this is a pretty elevated choice for a casual everyday bag. The quality of the leather just speaks for itself. Just another note is that the hardware on this is so minimal. The only hardware I can think of is inside the bag. Inside is the only hardware that you can see, and it's this zipper pull. And when I got this bag authenticated, because I bought this on Satire at a pretty good price, I sent it to legit grails to get authenticated, and they definitely asked for many photographs. And one of it is of the zipper, which is basically the only hardware that you can see on the bag, and it's gold hardware. They did ask for the stamping of details of the zipper, so I had to get like a macro photo of the Loewe stamp engraving on the side of the zipper pull here, and also the side of the zipper right on the corner of it has Loewe as well. The underside of the zipper, they also wanted a photo of it, like on the underside of it. It's insane, but you know, at least I know that it is, you know, a genuine bag. And then they have another Loewe anagram stamp on the very end of the zipper pull over here. Then it also has a Loewe made in Spain. Okay, so this bag is extremely lightweight. It is actually 0.61 kilograms, which translates to, okay, my hair is kind of like doing a weird thing again, so I'm still figuring out my Dyson. It is 0.61 kg, which translates to 610 grams. I mean, because nappa leather is very lightweight, very smooshy and buttery soft, but also because it is lined in a cotton canvas herringbone You can see the herringbone on it. It's kind of like the Loewe dust bags. And that's the lining, so it makes it very lightweight. I have actually tried to put in my Neverfull bag organizer in it, and that helped keep it clean during my trip. But at the end of the trip, I started to see this indentation of the bag organizer on the bag because the leather is so soft and pliable. It kind of just cleaves to the bag organizer. So I do think if I want to get a proper bag organizer, it has to be a very thin felt one, not one that is too thick, and definitely not one that, you know, that's more sturdy on the top, because those tend to push out on the leather and it would definitely form an imprint over time. So I haven't used it with that Neverfull organizer for quite a while now. And yeah, I'm happy to say that that indentation, that line across, kind of went away. I've had it for 3 months. I've been using it pretty often and it's pretty durable. So this isn't exactly the best angle, but I wanted to add this little point that I almost forgot, and it is something that I usually consider when I buy tote bags, and that is whether the bag touches the floor when I carry it from my hand. And I will demonstrate here. So pardon the very unglamorous shot. So you can see that when I carry the tote bag in my hands, just like that, it kind of just like swings, right? It doesn't touch the floor. If I wear a very slight heel, I think this is just like a 1-inch heel, that helps even more. Even with my Oran flats, it doesn't touch the floor. But if I so much as relax my hands and carry it, and I don't think I would ever carry it at the tips of my fingers. Oh, okay, it doesn't touch the floor. That's great. So even dangling like this, because this is very lightweight right now, it doesn't touch the floor, and that is what I really appreciate that in a tote bag. I think that if I got the XL size, it would definitely touch the floor. I'm pretty sure of that. Okay, so guys, this is my Neverfull and I'm just gonna stand here. Yep, doesn't touch the floor. And that's great, because the strap drop on the Neverfull is pretty much higher. As you can tell, the strap drop is 29 centimeters. I'm not sure what the strap drop for this is, but it is significantly shorter, as you can tell. But for some reason, because you know, you can see that just hanging it like this, the Neverfull, it ends up higher than the Loewe Flamenco bag. Just a useful point if you guys are short like me. This is my oldest Neverfull Basically got this bag organizer, and it's an extremely thick felt. It's very sturdy. It has this extra reinforcement around the top here. It fits my large flamenco tote perfectly, actually. It fits just nicely, snugly. But because when I start to, and you know, you could actually get away with it. Like, I don't think it looks too boxy. But there, I guess you can see that it starts to form this like sort of clean line, this rectangle of a line here. And because the nature of the bag's so smooshy, and then I don't even want to consider, like, when you pull that, that's going to put more pressure on the corners on the corners of the bag here. So I think if you can use this for a day or two, that's fine. It's not going to damage the leather permanently, but I would be very cautious in using a bag organizer that is too sturdy. I mean, it makes the structure very usable, and it definitely helps, you know, like you can find your things so easily in here. I just wanted to give a comparison of the drop. So this is the Neverfull, and it has this sort of like drop. You know, it's got there's a little bit of space under the armpit. It's very comfortable. Honestly, this bag is like second nature to me. And this bag has a much more comfortable drop, I would say. So I can actually feel more easy resting my arm on it as opposed to this one. So I guess Neverfull is famous for having this same problem. It drops completely empty right now, but even when it's full, it does tend to do that. So I have to like sort of, you know, clip it down. Anyway, the same happens here, but not as easily as the Neverfull. And I don't know if you can see, but yeah. There's a side-by-side comparison here. The thickness thickness, very, very similar. The height. So the Neverfull is definitely taller because the bucket goes all the way up here. Whereas, while it's kind of like similar to the Neverfull in height, really because of this opening and the way it tends to flop open here, the safe part of the compartment is really much less than the top bits. That's because of the aesthetic. The design is for that aesthetic. So now it's just Smooshy. It's paddling. I really do appreciate the versatility and style. You can definitely pull the drawstrings and carry it as a clutch bag like that. So I just saw Maggy's video, and I'm just gonna put a link to her video. She has recently made a video on her Chanel 22 bag, comparing it to her Flamenco in the regular size, and this is one size up, so I would say this is the large. The main difference is that this is predominantly a tote. I think hers is predominantly a shoulder bag. So I've learned from her video that the way you have to pull the bag is not like this, which I have been doing, but rather from these loops that you see, you pull it in that way and then you hold it like that. But yeah, so if it looks like a pouch, it has these two little here poking out like ears, which is kind of cute. So I think on the website it says here that the Flamenco clutch was first launched in the 1970s, and it used to have some tassels instead of these knot details that Jonathan Anderson reinvented it as such. So in comparison to the Neverfull or open tote bags, this actually has also this magnetic closure. It's very satisfying, on top of the drawstring to make it secure. And I like that it comes with a pretty substantial zipper compartment here, so I can put pretty much, it's very spacious, definitely more spacious than one of those Neverfull pouches that you have. So you can put your phone, your keys, your wallet, whatever, and you can definitely secure it very easily, passport, whatever. It all fits, really, it just fits very nicely. I highly recommend this as a travel bag. You're not gonna draw attention to yourself, you're not gonna make yourself a target, and on top of that, it's so quiet luxury. I'll just quickly mention the dimensions of this tote bag. It is 38 centimeters across. That translates to 15 inches across, 29 centimeters in height, and that translates to 11.4 inches in height. The depth, I guess you want to call it the depth, is 5.5 inches, and that is 14 centimeters. It's a pretty nice depth. It's not too bulky, I feel. Definitely makes for a nice pillow. And as for water resistance, I have been through some light showers in it and it's gotten wet. Just wiped it off when I got into shelter and it didn't leave any staining or marks. I did encounter some stains in terms of sunblock, like just some white-ish sunblock prints, but I just wiped it with a wet wipe, like a baby wet wipe, and it was gone. And so I do think that it's pretty easy maintenance in general. I think it's a very casual bag, but it makes you feel very chic, very understated. Okay, on the website now, it comes in 5 colors. So this one is just black, and then they have the classic, which is the warm desert, which I was very tempted by. But because I already had these caramel gold colored bags, the warm desert's very similar to this light caramel in the green leather and the gold hardware. And then it came with a vintage khaki, which I really, really like that green. I think that is also a classic color of Loewe's. There's a seasonal color called clay green, and it's kind of like a Chanel classic beige, flat beige with a bit of a yellow undertone, greenish yellow undertone, and that wasn't really my cup of tea. It didn't really go with my complexion very well. And they had this one called pearl gray, which I didn't get to see in person. It's this very nice, soft dove gray, and yeah, I was tempted by it, but I tend not to wear so many grays. I just went for the classic black color. Not to forget, this was the one on sale on Satire, and I've always needed a black bag in my closet. It definitely filled a hole in my closet. So capacity, in terms of laptop sizes on the diagonal, so this would be considered a 16-inch laptop. It is almost 13 and a half, which is 34 centimeters in length, and it is 9.5 inches or 20.5 or 25 centimeters in breadth. You can tell that an A4 or letter size paper is smaller than my laptop. and let's just see how it fits. So it definitely fits pretty easily, like, you know, if I were to carry the tote bag, it's pretty easy fit. But you can see that because of the height from this length, it is definitely sticking out, and I can't cinch in the top as much. It's going to poke out from the top. So you can put the magnetic closure above it for security that covers it and gives it some level of protection. But yeah, this is what you have to deal with if you want to carry a laptop in it. The letter size stuff works fantastically. It fits all the way in, just enough to not, you know, it pokes out just a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, but it just doesn't really poke out. But that's fine. So in conclusion, I think that this bag, despite the higher price point for a tote bag, is definitely worth the money. I am even thinking of adding it in a different color, and also thinking of getting it in the XL size, because I think the XL size is actually larger than this one. So this is the Neverfull MM size equivalent, and the other bag, which is in the XL, would be the GM size from Loewe. And I'm thinking of adding it in the warm desert because I cannot resist these colors. I love this black one. I love that I chose this color because it goes with everything, but nothing quite makes me smile like these caramel tones. It's only been 3 months and I've used it to death. It looks pretty much exactly the same as the day that I bought it. I hope this video was helpful for you guys if you were indeed considering this large Loewe Flamenco bag. I do think that, I know Loewe has come out with this puzzle tote bag. I believe that's what it's called. It's like an origami style. It's a lot more simplistic in the design. You can fold it and it collapses in on itself. It is a north-south orientation tote bag. I prefer this bag, even though it is, I think, significantly pricier than the other tote bag. I have a pretty feminine style, and this is definitely a softer, rounder, squishier alternative to something as edgy as the puzzle bag aesthetic. And I hope that you guys found this video helpful. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!